thought I gave you one. Oh. I thought I gave you one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you have your quorum, then you can start your meeting, but make sure you do a roll call so it shows who's at the meeting.
All right, open the meeting at 7:04. This is Bill Ryan, Chairman. We have Mike Colorelli, Donald Maderas, and Joe Mayada. I want to go with a P. Okay, now, first on the agenda is to read the minutes and look them over.
So we have Cindy
Oh, Cindy.
Gould and Jimmy Farrow present.
Thank you, Joe.
Don Maderas, I have a couple of minor corrections on the minutes.
Okay,
Old business, first line. CRMC has asked if gate is within 200 feet of Juniper's Pond and wetlands. Parentheses, so add parentheses, i.e. in CRMC jurisdiction. So CRMC has asked if gate is within 200 feet of the pond and wetlands, meaning to CRMC jurisdiction. Then strike the next sentence, which starts if gate, just strike that entire sentence.
okay.
And down a couple of paragraphs, John Bird sent a letter regarding the Nature Conservancy. After the Nature Conservancy, add will rescind their permit that includes Juniper's Reach. Make that the end of the sentence, so strike and ongoing issue, strike that, the rest of that sentence. Replace it with will rescind their permit that includes Juniper's Reach. And then the next sentence, motion to send letter to CRMC with request that the permit for TNC be add similar to the 2010 permit. And then after 2010, strike.
So we're striking the same.
So right after 2010, strike no property rights, strike that section. Regarding First Creek breaching, just strike that out. So it'll be a motion to send letter to CRMC with request that the permit for TNC be the same as the 2010 permit and to grant TNC access to the parking lot.
I thought you said to put similar instead of same.
Yeah, similar, sorry, similar to, yeah. Similar to the 2010 permit and to grant TNC access to the parking lot. And then the next sentence, towards the end, TNC regarding property rights and management plan to not be included, add in the recorded CRMC permit. And that's all I have. Oh, wait a minute, second page, last page, last sentence at the first paragraph, they wish to come back and film more, but said they will go through the proper channels on next visit. So add and abide by parking regulations. Then I just have one question regarding the first paragraph on the old business. Are we still, I guess we're asking ourselves the question, is it still the intent to create a subcommittee pertaining to Lloyd's Beach, Taylor's Lane, and Town Landing? I think I thought we talked about that the town council created a subcommittee for Lloyd's, which will include a beach commission member, and we voted to make Mike that liaison.
Yes.
So I think that maybe that paragraph doesn't really apply,
It doesn't say.
except for Mike being that person at the end. There you go.
Right.
So it's not our intent to create a subcommittee. Let's just say the town council created a subcommittee.
So it's not a question, though. It doesn't say is it, it is.
Oh,
still
it
the
is.
intent
Right,
For the town council,
Yeah, so,
Okay
so
with that?
let's strike it is, let's just say, new sentence, the town council, will create a subcommittee pertaining to Lloyd's, period, strike Taylor's and Town Lane. Okay, and then, there will be one beach commission member, that's what the town council decided. There will be one beach commission member on this committee, Mike Focarelli will be that person.
Actually, I think we voted that, right?
Correct.
Yes.
That's
So
what
that should say,
voted Mike Focarelli will be that liaison to the town council.
you have to put the motion and second and stuff.
Well, yeah, right, well, it's in the.
Well, that's how the other ones are,
No, you're right, so Joe made the motion, and I think Billy seconded it.
Correct.
That's my recollection. from
Correct.
last week.
And everybody, that was unanimous.
Correct.
Let me just check one more thing. Okay. I just wanted to confirm that on that correspondence, the only time I think that we've had not unanimous
Was with that.
was with.
That's correct.
That's,
Was the gate.
yeah, I just want to make sure that was correct, yeah. Yep, all right, I make a motion, we accept the minutes as revised.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You need to do a roll call.
Yep.
Don Maderas, aye.
Michael Fogarelli, aye. Joe Mayotto, aye.
Bill Ryan, aye. Okay, now. You want to read the first one that's on the agenda here? Discussion on?
Correspondence?
Yeah, that's what I
From CRMC regarding the gate.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
The commission last week authorized me to send a letter to CRMC to answer their question regarding the gate. I did do that, I sent it in, the commission got copies and it's filed. We haven't heard anything back yet.
Okay. Now, the second one here is updated commissioners.
Do we have anything from the town council?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Next. Okay, the third, you want to read that, Michael?
The third one is review correspondence from TNC regarding TNC breach permit.
Do we have any correspondence?
So, I think we reviewed it last time, because they sent us correspondence. But under correspondence, I think, to my recollection is last time, in that TNC correspondence, John Berg offered to look at reworking the management plan, and I thought we voted to work with him to
Okay.
do that. That was my thought process anyways. So as long as we're on that topic, can we advance that just another step to reach out a little sooner? John talked about starting in September, which is a good idea, but how about if we actually just reach out to him ahead of time, just to get that ready so that we can do that? Carol, I have a question for you. If two members of the commission were to meet with John Berg from the Nature Conservancy to work out and review the management plan and whatnot, is that appropriate as long as it's less than 3 members?
Yes,
Okay, so I think that would be expedient rather than have John come in here at every meeting to talk about things.
Okay.
I think, we would go a long way, even down there on the beach with John, 2 members and working out the issues, and then the members can report back to the commission.
Okay.
So I think that should be.
I assume that's going to be you, and I think you.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so I'll make a motion that we authorize Donnie and Billy to meet with John.
And I'll set Michael Fogarelli, I'll second that.
Okay, take it to a vote. Don Maderas,
Aye.
Michael Fogarelli, aye.
Bill Ryan, aye.
Joe Mayotto, aye.
Okay. Motion passes.
Next one is discuss objectives and info of subcommittee to assess town beaches. I think we talked about maybe not doing an actual subcommittee at this time, just to avoid another level of bureaucracy. But I would like to, maybe under the same, similar to what we're doing with the Nature Conservancy, maybe we can get 2 beach commission members to start assessing the various town beaches, and just do like a health check or an existing condition status, what's there, what the situation is, with the ultimate goal of making recommendations to put before the town council in a committee, probably with someone from the planning board, the conservation commission, maybe the harbor commission as needed, just to get everybody thinking and about how we can improve the existing, identify areas that could be improved, see if we can get grant money to do it. So I think that would go a long way. I mean, that's kind of at the end of the line. We've got an assessment to do just to look at the existing conditions. And so I think if we could maybe have 2 members work on that to at least gather the information and then see where it goes from there with input from the town boards and whatnot.
So is that something that would feed into the town's subcommittee?
The town subcommittee is just, as Mike Colbert, the town subcommittee is just dealing with woods. So this would be dealing with the townway, town landing, Taylor's Lane. And this is
Probably the harbor,
Harbor,
beach, there's a new kind of
yeah.
beach area down there. And that's
Is
what I was saying.
that our jurisdiction now, or is that the harbor commission?
Well, I think it's a town beach, but there's a good example of reaching out to the harbor commission once we kind of look at things over, and because they have a lot of experience and a lot to say down there.
I thought that was DEM.
That would be
That would be
CRMC.
The ramp is,
Okay.
and the parking lot.
Right, but that's CRMC jurisdiction.
Okay.
But again, we may be able to get grant money to improve drainage and water quality and who knows if we don't talk about.
I was thinking it was just recently that the state put that ramp in there, but it's probably been a number of years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, seems like it was just the other day, but I don't know how long ago that was now.
I think that's fine. Do you want to,
So I would be willing to do that with you, Donnie, if that's.
I'd be willing to do that, and I'm willing to donate the services of my company, because we'll need obviously some mapping and data generation of existing data for evaluation. So first step is collect it and map it, and then we can revisit the second step of evaluating it.
Okay, I'll make a motion that Donnie and Mike form that committee.
I'll second it. Bill Ryan will second it.
Now, let me interject with the question for Carol. Carol, if it's a committee, we have to have public meetings, correct? Now, can 2 commission members just do it as like an advisory to the commission?
Yeah, I wouldn't name yourselves as a committee, because then you're going to be bound by all the open meetings laws. I would say that you just assign 2 of your members to do that research and bring it back to the council, to the board.
Workshop.
Carol?
Well,
Just like as a work session,
do,
not a formal meeting?
no, any meeting or of a subcommittee at all, whether it's called a work session or a meeting, needs to be posted. So that's why I'm saying you don't want to call them a subcommittee. You want to just say that you've assigned them a task to do some research and bring it back.
So I'll amend my motion to have that wording, Cindy. Put that in.
I'll remember my second. Oh, tell you.
Before we vote on it, Donnie and Mike, if there's, as you know, I don't have a lot of time, but if there's anything that you want to run by me, look at, so forth. that we have to look at.
So, but I think that would then be 3 members.
Not together with that,
Just advertising, but, yeah, why don't we, once we figure things out, maybe then we can
Then we put it
divide
on
the
the
contract,
agenda.
give tasks to different
Right.
people, yeah, that's a great. idea.
Okay. Do you want to, yeah. So how she worded it?
That's a task, it's on.
Okay, the tax assignment that we're gonna vote there. Don and Maderas and Mike Colorelli are going to do this task for us.
I proposed the motion, you seconded it, so.
Okay, Don Maderas in favor?
Michael Colbrelli, aye.
Bill Ryan, aye.
Joe Miato, aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Uh-oh.
This next one must be Jimmy's, I'm thinking.
Which one?
What is it?
Policy.
Drug policy.
So I added that because I had, let me backtrack though. Did we have a letter, about town highway?
That's correct.
So
Yes.
Can we go back to that, for a minute, just because that was, somebody,
That's what triggered it.
well, no, but there was, we have been thinking about that, but there was a letter that was sent.
There was a concern by a resident down there about COVID and use of just people there using the town way as the parking spaces and whatnot. Someone, probably the closest house to it. Yeah, there was an email where they reached out to the council and the council forwarded it to us.
Okay.
So,
Do we need to respond to that in any way?
so did everybody see it and read it?
I do not recall it, let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, I think I have it here.
Who would it be from?
Richard Renone was the landowner.
No, I mean, who would have forwarded it?
The town council, I believe it was forwarded from Bob.
Yeah, I think it was from Bob.
Did you get that to Jim?
Yes, yeah.
You know what, I don't have a copy of it myself. I mean, the gist of
Did
it,
anybody follow, I've got the, what date is it?
it was probably the end of last week, it was probably Thursday or Friday, I'm thinking.
Just on Thursday. So, did anybody like reply to it, or would that be the last name
No, we
that
didn't,
sent it?
yeah,
They didn't reply to it, that's what, that was my question, is that does it owe a reply, or is it rhetorical? Is it just an informational point, or?
If you give me just a second, I should be able to find it.
yeah, if you can find it, it'd be great, just to read it, I don't remember.
I think at this time, it'd be a little tough for you guys to respond to it until you come up with a plan of what you want to try to do with it.
So like,
Other than saying, you know, we're addressing the issue, but other than that, yeah.
Concern was raised.
Okay, I think I have it. I'll read it.
yeah, sure.
This is to Bob Mushin from Rich Renone. Hi, Bob. I hope all is well with you and your family. In light of the pandemic, the extraordinary steps taken by the town for South Beach to protect beachgoers, has there been any discussion about protecting the residents near the vicinity of Town Way? There has been an increased number of Massachusetts cars, presumably Mass resident, all parking, cramming in on Town Way, no one wearing masks. My guess is this is the overflow from South Beach. It is concerning, particularly when the prevailing wind is in the southwest. I'm fearful of COVID-19. We should have a discussion or some emergency measure put in place to protect the health and well-being of tax-paying residents of Compton Hills during this pandemic, please advise. And that was just forwarded, it just said, thank you for your email, I'm copying the town administrator and beach commission leadership so we can receive their input.
Okay. So, do you think that that's gonna be, brought up at the town council meeting tomorrow?
That I don't know, is that on the agenda, Carol, for the council?
No, is not.
So maybe we'll just put a parenthesis around that.
Well, we can file it. I mean, we received it, we can file it. And maybe in your review that you guys are gonna be doing of the different properties, you might take that into consideration.
I think
concern noted.
possible suggestion would be reaching out to the police chief.
I was just gonna say that, I think that's a good idea, Jim, it's that really should be forwarded on to Chief Haynes. Because if it's a parking issue, that's something really that he should be aware of.
Okay, it doesn't look like he's copied here, so I'll make a motion that we forward that communication to the chief, police chief.
That's Joe Mayano motion, Don Madera second.
All in favor?
Don Madera, aye.
Michael Philbrook, aye.
Bill Ryan, aye.
Joe Mayano, aye.
Motion carries. Okay,
So the last thing is the dog policy. I have gotten several comments about dogs on the beach, and I just wanted to review what our dog policy is, and also what,
Did we get a letter or is this just people talking to you?
this is like 3 people talking to me about dogs on beach, and also dogs on Goosewing, which is really not anything that we have much jurisdiction over. So I was going to sort of throw that to Jimmy and say, like, what is the,
I mean, basically, as it stands right now, dogs are allowed on the beach till 9 a.m. Rhode Island state law states that during bathing hours, dogs are not allowed on beaches, which would be 9 to 5.
And if before 9, is it on a leash?
And again, this is something I'm going to have to check into. What I had always been told, the dog legislation in Little Compton was that the dog needed to be under control. I think Jack Faria, the last time I talked to him, was saying, no, they need to be on a leash. So I'm not sure what the new current rules and regulations are on that. So I'll check that out, try to find out exactly what it is.
All right, so you look into that and bring it back to our next meeting? You
Yeah.
can put that on the agenda, Cindy, for next time?
what, Jim, remind me what's posted at the beach.
Basically, it says no dogs. You know, it says no dogs right at the front shack. It says it on the main sign. Yeah, there's multiple
Because that's
things.
during beach hours, yeah.
Yeah. Again, we've always let dogs down there to walk, you know, prior. The bit about the dogs down at Goosewing is a problem. You know, again, the more they disturb the nest down there, the longer the plovers will stay, that sort of thing.
So that's why those people, the TNC people patrol that, right?
Yeah, you know, and again, that affects us too, because the longer those enclosures are up, the more trimmed down beach area. You know, we don't put stands down there till the week of 4th of July because of allowing area for the plovers and stuff like that. So the more they're disturbed, the more it upsets our routine also. So again, it's in our interest to adhere to the federal regulations and the town regulations as far as endangered species and, you know, birds and that sort of stuff.
And Jimmy, so just to clarify, you said it's, dogs can be on the beach, controlled before 9 a.m. and after what time?
After 5 p.m.
After 5 p.m.
If I heard you right, Jim, that if the plovers are disturbed, they have a longer nesting season?
They'll re-nest and stuff like that. Which again,
So to
they
keep up the restrictions longer.
they could be completely gone by 4th of July. But if you keep bothering the nest, disturbing them, if they can't feed, then they'll abandon the nest and re-nest further down the beach, which they could be here till September, you know, with chicks and things like that. So again, it's to our advantage to,
usually it's September 15th
Yeah.
that they clear.
Awesome.
what's that?
Help them, the plovers do their circle of life and not be harassed.
So,
Yeah.
Mike, the comments that you've been receiving, what nature are they? Are
They
they
really have to do with Goosewing and have to do with,
but they're against the dogs being there? Is that the idea, or are they on the side that's saying dogs should be there?
they're against having, they wanted to know what our policy was and if there's any information that we could provide that would inform dog owners that are coming in through our entrance
Yeah.
about what the situations at Goosewing.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that, you know, Goosewing is Goosewing and that maybe that's something we should bring up with John Bird.
What about if we contacted the Nature Conservancy and asked them if they had a handout that they wanted us to hand out?
They did previously, we did previously have handouts that we kept at the front gate. We haven't done that in a few years, so like,
Maybe we can do that again.
Yeah.
And that would help us, and it would help them, and it would help the birds, and it would help the people that don't want the dogs bothering the birds.
So that was one of the suggestions, was about the handouts. I just imagine those handouts blowing down the beach.
yeah, one of the other suggestions we did come up with is the fact that people, the signs that say no dogs on Goosewing are up on the berm and stuff like that, and lower tides, people, oh, I never noticed that. We have told them that we're willing to put, you know, if they make up a sign, we'll put it on one of our stanchions, move it down, you know, closer to the, during the day and stuff like that. We've got a staff there at night, so I mean, we could make that part of their detail, is moving the sign up and down
All
with the
right,
tide.
why don't we, well, my thought anyway is why don't we reach out to the Nature Conservancy and ask them, tell them we'll help them out in terms of handing something out or moving signs or whatever. But reach out to them and see if there's something that we can do along with them. They provide the materials.
And I think that we should have better signage about picking up after your dog.
Yep.
I don't think that goes amiss, reminding people to pick up after your dog and put it in the trash. So,
Yeah.
Hey, don't you love the people that put it in the bag and then just throw the bag around?
or just leave the bag and they find it.
Every morning we pick them up off the lifeguard stands. Yeah, it's like,
One of the confusion points I noticed with the dogs is, not everybody understands the rules. So there's the sign at the beach entrance that says no dogs, meaning no dogs during bathing hours. And people get down there and maybe they're after 5 or 6 and they see somebody with a dog, and then it's like, well, how come they can have a dog? So maybe we can figure out some way to improve the understanding of the rules, because that kind of, it's difficult.
I guess we could put it as no dogs during bathing hours, but then again, is that just going to encourage more people to bring dogs after hours? So I think that part, that, you know, we might be better off not opening that can of worms, you know what I mean? Because then people might say, oh, I didn't know you could bring dogs after 5 o'clock or 9, you know, and then we might end up with more dogs that way.
Well, maybe we put a sign up there, dogs after 5 and before 8 have to have a leash on.
well, let me check what the rules and regulations are on that at this point.
In control part,
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a leash.
it's supposed to be a leash, I mean, there's a leash law.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think I'll make a motion that we send a letter to the Nature Conservancy, or are you in conversation with somebody?
I can reach out to them if you want, sure.
All right, so that Jimmy talk to Nature Conservancy and find out, you know, work out an idea in terms of the signs, that we'd be willing to have our staff move the signs down. That makes a lot of sense, that. And, 'cause, I mean, they're right, if the signs are way up in the dunes, they're walking down on the beach at low tide, they don't even see them. There were signs that you were moving down, weren't there? Like,
Yeah, I mean, the no swimming signs, we move up and down with the tide, so it'd be no problem, they'd be in the same area.
And at the same time, you can ask them if there's any materials that.
Yeah.
that you would
They
like
might even have signs already made up.
Available. So that way, whoever's in the shed, you know, they don't have to give one to every single person, but
Yeah.
they can offer it to them.
Yeah.
Like Mike said, we don't want them
You know,
all blowing around the
Yeah.
beach for
but
that.
I would, you still have a motion. But I would encourage us to have a clear sign at the beach. First of all, you know, please pick up after your dog. So that needs to be said before you yell at somebody. I didn't know I was supposed to pick up. Those people very. So I think of that, and I guess if there's a leash law, you know, that we should say on the sign, please have your dog on leash.
I think that's.
Yes.
Now,
Yes?
two things. One, in Little Compton, there is not currently a leash law. The dog just needs to be under the owner's control.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, it does not state it has to be on a leash. And also, you have a member of the public who would like to speak. Cheryl?
It's Cheryl Katie. I was just gonna say that about the leash law, but irrespective of a leash law, I think we need to look a little bit at the safety. if you have a dog running free down there, one, we can't control them from going into the piping clovers. But two, you never know how they're going to react to a child running up to them, being hit by a ball, a number of other factors. So whether or not there's a leash law, it could be a rule of the beach that the dog needs to be on a leash. I'm thinking more of a liability issue. I know I'm down there with little kids and, they're running for the water and they're throwing balls. I'd hate to see a dog just come up and be surprised and nip one of them. So maybe it could just be a rule of the beach that your dog needs to be on a leash.
I don't think that's.
I think that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
All right, why don't we have two separate things though, because they're kind of separate.
So you have your motion.
My motion is about the TNC and Jimmy reaching out to them. Okay, so
Second, Don Madeira, second.
Michael Colbrelli, aye. Sorry, Joe.
To the vote, okay.
Joe Mayado, aye.
Michael Colbrelli, aye.
Bill Ryan, aye.
Don Madeira, second.
All right, and then.
Thanks, Sherry.
So, and then, Michael Colbrelli, I'd like to make a motion that we get a sign to put on the shack that says, please pick up after your dog and please keep your dog on the leash.
Okay, I think we should first, that's about the sign, but I think we need to, have a motion that we make that a rule of the beach commission, or the beach. Okay, dogs.
So I will withdraw my motion and I will make a motion that, dogs at the beach should be leashed.
I'll second that.
A vote,
Don Madeira, aye.
Michael Colbrelli, aye.
Bill Ryan, aye.
Joe Mayado, aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, Michael Colbrelli,
We can do the sign.
I'll make a second motion that we create signage that said, please, keep your dog have your dog on the leash and please pick up after your dog.
We have a second.
Don Madeira, second.
We have a vote going.
Joe Mayado, aye.
Bill Ryan, aye.
Michael Colbrelli, aye.
Don Madeira, aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Now what we have to do here is I think we have to put on the agenda, we have one thing on the agenda. Jimmy, is there anything that you would like to put on the agenda?
One quick other correspondence, we have a request from Andy McWilliams to have a wedding on the beach, September 19th. My suggestion at this point in time is writing back to him that we could not commit to something like that at this point in time because we do not know what the rules and regulations will be involving with COVID.
And that's after the beach is officially closed
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Okay, before you take any votes, let me just clarify that since this was not on the agenda, you can accept it to be talked about by unanimous consent of your board, and you can assign a task to someone to do that, to answer them, but you cannot actually vote that you're not going to do something.
So
I think that's what Jimmy was gonna say anyway, 'cause we have correspondence, we can address correspondence, under our agenda, correct?
You just can't vote.
It really should have been clearer than just the word correspondence.
Okay.
So can we just put this as an agenda item?
Yes.
Next
Put it on
meeting?
the agenda.
You have no problem with accepting it by unanimous consent of the four of you that are there, hearing what he has to say, which you've actually already heard, and then you can take a vote to assign it to Jim to take care of. That's acceptable.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So basically, I will send him back an email stating at this point in time, I don't feel that would not feel comfortable saying okay to this because we don't know what the rules and regulations will be in September.
So I make a motion that Jimmy reach out to this person. and
Okay, again, I
explain-
don't think you can do that. I think you can just
Right,
assign
no,
it.
we just assign it, we just assign it.
Are you signing that task to you?
Can be referred to Jim Farrell to handle as appropriate.
Right, okay. Mike, did you second? There's no motion, we just by unanimous consent. So I think we do a roll call, everyone's in favor of assigning this to Jimmy to take care of the task of addressing that.
Yes.
Right?
You can make a motion just to assign the task to him, but you can't do anything further than that.
Tommy Davis, motion to assign the task to Jim.
I'll second that.
Okay, all,
So Joe Mayano, second, Tommy Davis, aye.
Michael Flurley, aye.
Bill Ryan, aye.
Joe Miano, aye.
Motion carries, that Jim will do the duty.
Did you have any bills you needed to approve?
What's that?
Do you have any bills that needed to be approved?
No.
Because it felt like you skipped over that, so.
Yeah, what we did, we took a vote that Jim Farrow would take care of them. Instead of voting on the meeting, we gave him permission to,
Okay.
Hey, the routine bills, if there's anything that comes up that's not just the routine bills, then that has to come up.
Okay.
Thank you.
With that being said, you all got copies of the
Yeah.
bills, stuff like
We have
that.
copies
So
of
if
the
you have
bills
any
right now,
questions. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Next meeting?
Regular correspondence.
All right.
Update on TNC, correspondence.
Update on our,
CRMC correspondence, you know, it has, if we have it, we can update it, so if it's on the agenda, if not, we just skip it with no new information.
And if anything comes up with the town council subcommittee, that person can report on that.
Right?
Yes.
So maybe make that a line item before.
Report on subcommittees.
Town council subcommittee.
and, yeah, and our task force, if we.
In progress, the report status, getting ahead of ourselves, I think.
okay,
Wait, so like, we have to see if Carol's available.
Oh, the next
The
meeting.
next meeting will be the 21st. Carol,
Yes?
would you be available on July 21st?
Yes, there won't be a conflict on that evening. So we're all set for me.
So that's okay?
That's okay, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
thank you, Carol.
July 21st here at 7
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah,
You just need to avoid the first Tuesday of each month, because there'll always be a conflict with the planning board.
okay.
July 21st at 7 p.m.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second, Michael, second.
Favor?
Aye.
Yes. Mike? Mike Colorado says aye, Bill Ryan says aye, and
Joe
Joe
Miano says aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks,
You're
Joe.
welcome. Good night.